Unknown Armies does a thing. I'm actually gonna find it, and I'm gonna read it for you verbatim. Unknown Armies has a rule that I want to kind of steal for culture, probably, and I will find it and I'll read it. It's called "Of Course I Can." Let's see here. So the idea, basically, as I dig for it, is that when you define your character's identity in this, your culture, whatever, you get the right to say, "Of course I can do this. I'm this," right? Of course I know how to do this thing. I'm from here. So again, fictional positioning, but backed up by a rule that says, if it makes sense to everyone at the table, that of course you could do the thing, then you just do it. It just happens. So here we go. So in Unknown Armies, some of the suggestions, they're called identities. Some of the suggestions are electrician, Freemason, karate instructor, nature lover, police officer. But also, maybe more interestingly, identities are hot, irritable, right? I'm hot. Of course I can look good in any outfit. I'm hot. Of course I can create a distraction. I'm hot. Of course I can go to the front of the line, right? I'm irritable. Of course I can make reasonable arguments seem insipid. I'm irritable. Of course I can provoke people. So they're really fun. So in this case, it's, yes, of course I can read this weird script. I came from an academic culture. Of course I can see in the dark. I'm a dwarf. Of course I understand how the bureaucracy of heaven works. I'm part angel, right? So I kind of like prefacing all of this stuff with, thanks, McCavity. Welcome to the squad. So let's call all of this stuff. I'm going to steal that for now. Of course I can, because I'm... And this allows us to skip over rolling for stuff that, duh, of course you can do because of your kin, culture, or profession as adjudicated by the table. So there you go. So the idea here is it's not to necessarily avoid making rolls, but it's to give you the opportunity to allow you to express your character, right? Of course I know how to navigate a business deal. I'm a merchant prince, right? Things that the game will contain, but that the game is not about. Of course I can get the best deal. We don't want to stand around making haggle rolls. Of course I can get the best deal. I'm a merchant, right? Or I was. So, yeah. I like it. I like it. And I don't want it to be too broad. I want this to be about kin, culture, and profession. Not just anything. I will leave that open to, like, maybe if it's more interesting, but I just feel like it's much harder. So profession here, freeform has to be the thing you used to do before it all went bad and the gods turned their eyes away from you, right? And you're not cursed. They don't give a fuck about you. Right. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the signs. Now I'm gonna hold on. I'm just gonna flip over because I gotta dig through my Google Docs here, and I don't want you to see my secret information. Let me find. I have my rulings thing from. Let's see. Dangerous Outlaw Sharkanoid is a profession and a kin. Unless the outlaws are also his culture. Like he's a motorcycle gang. Let me see here. So RollPlay Court of Swords. Where are you? There it is. Hacks and Rulings. Here we go. Okay. So this is a little bit out of date. Yeah, Leafington, you want to call it craft. So it's culture, kin, and craft. Yeah, I like that. That's real cute. Bonus points to Leafington. Kin, culture, and craft. It's all K sounds. Okay, so hacks and rulings. Where did that go? Here it is. This is the associations here that I had. This is how alignment works in Court of Swords currently. So if you are fire, which is called also in the language of heaven. Oh, thanks, Theseus. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up proper pronunciation of this stuff, but I appreciate that. So Tejas, Vayu, Apas, Prithivi, and Sunya. Those are the alignments. I'm basically using Sanskrit as my stand-in for the language of heaven. Fire is associated with the south. It has the associations of anger, will, passion, lust, destruction, desire, and purification, protection, and strength. It has the colors of red, orange, gold, and yellow. Air, or Vayu, is the direction of the east, is associated with thought, mental power, communication, travel, intellect, abstract thinking, teaching, divination, freedom, happiness, laughter, and beginnings, and is the colors blue and pastel. Water, Apas, is the direction of the west, and is based on emotions, dreams, compassion, love, sadness, healing, rest, cleansing, dissolution, and rebirth. The colors green, silver, and purple. Prithivi, the earth. Yeah, fire, Tejas, also Tejas, also Texas. Earth, Prithivi, is the north, stability, prosperity, food, money, wealth, crops, animals, home, mountains, strength, grounding, and protection. Brown, black, and green. And the void, Sunya, directions, none. Rejection of authority, individualism, selfishness, endings, nihilism, hopelessness, the present, temptation, solitude, and the color white. So, these are the signs under which the characters are born. And I'm just going to copy, and I am going to paste, because I already did this design work. And these are your signs. There we go. Okay. So expressing a sign during the game. Did you express your sign? Make a note.
Welcome.
Did you express your sign? If so, mark XP. Ivan, welcome to the squad. Thank you. So, okay. So did you express your sign? If so, you mark experience. These are the signs. This is really easy. This is just a check-in at the end of the session to be like, hey, did you do this thing? Yes? Awesome. Good job. We got to see the ways in which you were void-born, you poor sucker. Great. Okay. So let's talk about class abilities. Let's get into this mess. So I'm going to do a little short description for each thing. Now, if we're looking at, here, let me show you my inspiration, again, and we can talk about what that might hold for us and what we might want to ignore or change. So in World of Dungeons, which I'm just opening up now, here we go. In World of Dungeons, the skills, there are skills and special abilities. Now, I made it all one thing, but basically the way John set it up is that if you have a skill, you can never roll less than a 7, even if you roll a 6. So that's one way. It's a buffer against failure. So that's a thing we can think about. And then special abilities are detailed particularly. So, for example, special abilities in here are... Yeah, here we go. So, like, thieves get stealth and backstab. So if you attack from concealment, you do more damage. Lucky, once per day, turn a miss into a partial success. Reflexes, you always go first. Like, little one sentence, this is what you can do. Wizards get lore, and they get spirits they can summon, and they can do magic. So, this should be fairly straightforward. These don't need to be complicated. These don't need to be complicated to set up, right? We can just go through them. So armament, you may wield any weapon or wear any armor without undue discomfort or difficulty. Ergo, if you are not possessed of armament and you attempt to use a difficult weapon, something heavy, or you try to strap on that plate mail, you may have to roll every single time to avoid that difficulty. Easy. And this is the kind of thing that the class abilities are about. So Fortitude, maybe this is a like once per session, you may ignore a single attack. It still hits, but you are able to push through the ill effects. That dragon's breath still burns up all your clothes. The force of the blow pushes you off a cliff and you fall into a crevasse, but you don't die. It doesn't hurt you. So that's warriors. They can wield and wear, and they can endure bullshit, right? So a monk has discipline. Now, I envision discipline as being like a form of mental endurance, right? This is very much monk in the Shaolin sense. This is not monk in the Friar Tuck sense. These are the monks that will, like, punch you in the face and do a backflip, and they're not priests. That's what priests are for. So maybe gain a +2 on any roll to resist external influence on your mind or spirit, something like that. We can come back and look at these again later, like as we build stuff. But it's a resistance to temptation, right? The idea here is they want to be. I'm very much leaning on Buddhism as the thing here, and the Mara are demons because they're tempters, and the monks are particularly good at resisting temptation. And I don't want, and it's earthly and unearthly temptation. I think, I think it's just external influence, like someone pushing you around. I like that. I think that's good. It's that kind of discipline. Yes, monks are a subclass of warrior. Yeah. Acrobatics. Your body. This one we could do as a... your body is trained to perform near supernatural acts of supernatural feats. Right? This is the wire foo, right? You are able to leap higher, run faster, and like, you know what I mean though? Like, it's like if you can call on, and maybe it doesn't, maybe acrobatics is a bad call for this, but it's like monk training. Yeah, supernatural physical feats. Yeah. Yeah, totally. This is your fucking magic kung fu. Leap higher, run faster, like do that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I want it to be concise, right? Yeah, I don't know if it's hit harder because it's not about that necessarily. Right? It's about your body being like, yeah, the Mr. Pegleg, welcome to the squad. Thank you. All right, we'll just go something. But you're an Olympic athlete. It's magic circus bullshit. Yeah. Okay. So command. This could be a bonus. And actually, I want to just change this to +1 because I think +2 imbalances it too much. Yeah, I don't even maybe need to make this list. Your body is trained to perform near supernatural physical feats. And we'll just leave it at that. So command, this could be a bonus to yeah, an ally. The idea here is that people listen to you. Your voice. Oh, okay. Here we go. Gain a +1 on any roll to command to issue an order to someone who would reasonably listen to you. Right? Like the idea here is if there's a chance someone would listen to your order, you shout at them and tell them what to do. I don't know what that does for a PC, but yeah, I need a new word for this. We'll bracket it and we'll come back. So like kung fu, basically. And kung fu, the literal translation of kung fu actually fits for this. Because kung fu means practice that requires patience, energy, and time. Any discipline or skill achieved through hard work and practice. So like kung fu actually like fits, but it also feels really corny. Anyway, and then tactics. In battle, you may ask the GM one question about before or during a battle, once per session. That is, you're asking the GM a question. The GM will just tell you honestly. You may ask the GM one question. I want to be able to say like, ask one question about that battle. Once per session, you may ask the GM a question about a battle you are participating in or about to, or like you're able to study, right? Because I think tactics applies to that too. Or planning for, yeah, pertaining to the current battle like situation, right? You are like party to. And they will answer honestly. Blap. No, see, Vampire, the reason that that's important is that you're asking a question about the battle, and you don't have to be privy to it. It's secret information, right? And then the GM will tell you or ask you, how do you know that, right? So if you say, you know, does the Necromancer King have any reinforcements, you know, that we don't know about? And you could say, yes, he has a cadre of swordsmen hidden over the mountain. How do you know that? And you could say, I could smell them on the wind, or like, I can see by the way he builds his flanks that he's expecting to fill in his rank on the west, right? Like it's okay. The idea here is that it is a sort of battle prescience. So I think it's okay to do that. I think that's fine. Like it's a battle insight, basically. Okay, and again, we can come back. This is only the first go through. Let's see. When you harm any creature considered anathema to your anathema to heaven, this is specific. Inflict single additional level of harm, basically. So this is just like, you're really good at hurting demons and the undead and like bad guy shit, right? And this is specifically anathema to heaven. So like the Mara, blasphemers, vampires, cultists, anything that harms or damages the soul. And part of this is allowing the GM to ask the Ardent, in what ways is this anathema to heaven? And then Inquisit, this is another ask a question one. You may ask a single question of anyone who is under like duress, basically, or like someone you're torturing, who is at your mercy.
On my ass by that dick.
Oh damn, fool! Welcome back. Happy anniversary. You may ask a single question of anyone who's at your mercy, which they must answer honestly. There you go. So Rend and Rage, these are about breaking things. So +1 to any roll to damage, destroy, or otherwise ruin a physical thing. This is Ben Barr's Lift Gates, right? And then Rage. What should we do with Rage? Because Rage is about a lot of things in D&D. And this is the rage of a brute. This is raw anger. This is, you are full of a lust for battle for its own sake. You want to spill blood. This is hate, right? This is pure, like, and no, that's a good clarification, Vampire. Physical object, not a person. Yeah, no fail on... oh, okay, here's a good one. So, for the duration of a single scene, you cannot fail a body roll. You treat any 6 as a 7. I guess any lower than 6 as a 7. But you must continue to spill blood and destroy. Otherwise, the rage ends. This feels kind of long. But I like the idea here that you like flip out and have to keep spilling blood and destroying things. You can't even for a moment stop. So you either have to be on your way to fucking shit up or in the middle of fucking shit up. Otherwise the rage ends and you are exhausted. And the idea here is that there's fictional positioning. There's fictional positioning here where you're enraged and it will change what you do or don't roll to. Yeah, that's true because it's all your physical stuff. Oh, I know. This is a good one for rage because it doesn't need to be about damage. It's just you're powered by hate. For a single, once per session, for a single scene, you may become enraged, ignoring all wounds you receive. I'm before E, except ignoring all wounds you receive until let's see, you become enraged, ignoring all wounds you receive, and I don't want this to be too powerful, but what I was thinking was you take a bunch of hits, and then at the end you count half of them, basically. So the idea is that you flip out and start like wrecking shit and killing people, and then when the scene is over, you take all that damage, cut in half. So you could take like 16 or 20 points of damage, and then like levels of damage, and then all of a sudden, bam! Half of it all hits you at once. What's up, Dogleaf? Yeah, it seems strong depending on what you're fighting. But I think what it is you fill those in, right? So like, let's say I'm a berserker here, and I've got 5 boxes of health, whatever. So I'm fighting a goblin, and the goblin deals me 1, and then another goblin deals me 2, and then another goblin deals me 1. At the end of that fight, I take 2. That make sense? Yeah, and you could just die after your rage. Like if I take 10, I'll just be dead. I kind of like that one. I want to put that in somewhere. Yeah, round it up. Marking but ignoring all wounds you receive. Oh, I know. No, here's what we do. You become enraged. Change the text of all of your wounds. I am unstoppable. when the scene ends, take half, erase half the wounds, erase half the wounds you took, and revert them to normal. The problem is, though, is that you have 10 unstoppable levels. Maybe you can't die at the end of your rage. I guess that's the... We'll figure it out. I'm going to just put this as a break. But I do really like the... Yeah, the wounds you took during that. We'll have to phrase this one properly. But I think we know what we're going for. It's just about finding a way to phrase this stuff. But I love the idea of, like, normal people, if you ask them how they're doing, I am hale and hearty. I'm merely winded. I'm bloodied but unbeaten. I have but a moment left to live. But if you ask a brute in the midst of a rage, how are you doing? He's just going to scream, I am unstoppable. Right? He's flipping out, which is great. I think that's the way to handle this one. But we'll work on the phrasing. Okay. So there's our warriors. Let's talk about our magicians. So mysticism is like an awareness of, like, you know about magic, and oracle is you can see the future. So this is kind of like arcana, and you can help people make like tell their future. You are entitled and empowered by culture and the world itself to read the tarot for yourself and others. Huge. And then mysticism. Mysticism as different from, like, occultism, because occultism is you have access to and knowledge of the dark secrets of the scholarly underworld, right? Like forbidden books and, like, right? Mysticism is what's like the... Let me look at some definitions of that word. Mysticism. So mysticism, the definition here is belief that union with or absorption into the deity of the absolute, or spiritual apprehension of knowledge inaccessible to the intellect, may be attained through contemplation and self-surrender. I like it. So, like, you're tuned in, man. You feel that shit. You're like a weird magic hippie. You're a magician. That's your shit. Yeah, maybe, like, you are capable of... Because the way that each of the subclasses do it are through spells, fountaincraft, ceremony, and conjuring. Yeah, okay. So you're capable of perceiving and harnessing the power of the fountain. Like, we could just say that. You can do magic. Which means if you are building a class yourself... If you're building a class yourself, you have to take mysticism and spellcraft, fountaincraft, ceremony, or conjuring. Now, I don't think it's a detect magic thing unless we bend Sixth Sense a little bit. But anyway, you can use rote formula and practiced ritual. We don't call anything else ritual. Nope. Ritual to cast spells, and we need a mechanism for that. Okay. There we go. Okay. So spellcraft is you own a spell book, and you know a couple of ways to cast spells, and you can make magical effects, but you have to have planned them, like, in advance, right? You can't just do whatever you want. Yeah, like mysticism is like gifted in Burning Wheel. That's fair. Okay. So, fountaincraft, you may channel... No, don't open a file. Fuck off, files. you may channel the power, the raw power, because that's what you do, raw power of the fountain into spell effects, into magical effects. There you go. Sixth sense. Your senses extend beyond that of normal mortals. You can, you may perceive auras, spirits, and ghosts when otherwise they are hidden. Something like that, like you can see magic shit. Yeah, it's straight up like third eye, fucking, you see the world differently than everyone else. You have an extra layer. It's like the thing I was describing to Anne. It's her like chi sense. She can sense people's auras, how hurt they are. She has access to another sense no one else does. Yeah, astral perception, that kind of bullshit. All right, priests have the power of ceremony. It's constant. Sixth sense is on all the time. You can perform basic rituals honoring all of the arcana, and more obtuse and complex rituals honoring a single arcana. Choose it when you gain this ability. Okay. So this is like, you're a general priest to everybody, and then you're a general priest to all the arcana, but you know the obtuse and complex rituals for a single arcana. So you are a priest of one of the arcana, but in a pinch, you can serve as a low-level priest for any arcana. Perform. Yeah, okay, I like that one. So you may serve the sun, but temperance. Yeah, any and all of the arcana. No, any and all. So both or either, right? You know, the minor rituals of temperance and justice and the devil, even though you're a priest of the sun. And then in prayer, you may pray to the arcana for ritual, what was it called? Miracles. And that's another form of spell. Well, let's see, for their intercession in the mortal realm via miracles. Okay, cool. So the idea here is that priests are like, so let me just be super clear about the how the Court of Swords is about priests and clerics. They are wrong. They're wrong, and they're limited, and they're honestly like kind of misguided. The arcana are fake. They don't exist. The gods don't have consciousness. They don't care. The entire arc of enlightenment was created by heaven and probably by some powerful humans to manipulate human behavior to serve heaven and the fountain. That's it. They're fake. Yeah, channel should be in brackets, so I know later. I'll come back and highlight all this shit. So anyway, they're all fake, which is why the Mara are so powerful, because the Mara are real. The Mara will like listen to you. The Mara will help if you need help. The gods, it's a crapshoot. If you're a priest, what you're doing is your belief is forming the fountain into funneled miracles. Right? So priests and scholars are just potential sorcerers that are not very good at their job. For me, the analogy here is paradigm. So if you're familiar with mage, in mage, you can have magical power that is based on your will, But you probably start off not being able to just be like, I'm fucking awesome. I can control the universe. Instead, you're like, dear Jesus, please turn this water into wine. It was you. You did it. You turned the water into wine, but you think Jesus did it for you. Sorcerers are people who are just like, I feel the raw power of magic. Pew, I'm doing the thing. They tend to be out of control. They tend to be less defined, right? If you ask a sorcerer to fountain craft twice the same way, you may not get it. But if you ask a scholar to cast magic missile 1,000 times, he'll do it over and over and over and over, exactly the same way every time. Same with priests. Priests know prayers. They can pray for miracles, and that's that. Shamans are interesting because they have a middleman, right? Shamans are still capable of perceiving and harnessing the power of the fountain, but they don't do it themselves. They bait, cajole, coerce, and force spirits and gods to do it for them. So, like, here's an analogy that Dungeons & Dragons has used forever. How do the various spellcasters of our setting screw in a light bulb? A scholar casts screw in light bulb. A sorcerer concentrates really hard on the light bulb and thinks about a spinning motion, and hopefully the light bulb will screw itself in by magic. A priest prays, dear son, please illuminate this room. I have no need for this light bulb. Shamans will coerce a spirit or a ghost into doing it for them. So there you go. So conjuring, you may conjure a spirit, ghost, or god and haggle, deal, bargain for services. Boop. Nope. Wrong bracket. Conjure. So we're going to need conjuration. So the styles of magic are going to be a thing. Yeah, spirits are sapient. They hang out gods hang out in heaven, spirits are gods on earth. That's the differentiation between the two. Yeah, there are no capital G gods, lowercase gods. Yeah, the god of a river. If you watch the upcoming arc of Court of Swords, we're jumping back like 10,000 years. There's no courts. There are no wizards. There are no clerics. There are paladins, but they're like holy warriors that serve. They're like sorcerers, basically, divine sorcerers. There are druids, lots of druids, barbarians, rangers, certainly, but none of that stuff. No, the party didn't die. It was just the end of Anne's arc, and we're going to do a couple of episodes and then a live show that all kind of like are about this 10,000 years ago. So gods walk the earth, demons are around, that kind of shit. Though demon isn't really a term that exists yet. Neither is angel or chanchier. We're thinking only of spirits of varying nature. I'm thinking that Princess Mononoke shit, right? The spirit of the forest, that kind of thing. Yeah, the new arc might be a good place to start because it's certainly the most like chronologically early. It's 10,000 years or something before the game starts. Dinosaurs walk the earth. So anyway, yeah, shamans, conjuring, sacrifice. Someone was asking about bards. Bard is a craft. Bard is not a class. Being able to sing doesn't make you capable of magic. Not in my world. So anyway, sacrifice. You may perform sacrifices. If you perform an appropriate sacrifice, treat any... What do we think? Like, this is about being able to sacrifice for yourself or others. Treat any one roll as... Treat any one missed roll as a 7 to 9. Like, this seems powerful, but you have to, the cost is it's an appropriate sacrifice to an appropriate entity, right? This isn't just like this is, you find a goat worth, 100 gold, and you cut its throat, and, in the name of like victory in battle, and then in battle, your brute friend, you can be like, aha, no, instead of missing, the gods look upon you and they treat you well. I think that's reasonable. This is going to be on the GM to determine like appropriate sacrifice and to whom. Yeah. Battle gods, that kind of shit. Gods of intoxication. Okay. So rogues who are murderers. You may kill outright anyone who, basically, I want this one to just be like, you just murder people, right? You just kill. This isn't about winning a fight. This is about getting a free kill on someone who doesn't know that you're there. This is like getting like it's a free shot, right? But you have to set it up. So a stab in the back, a shot across someone who's at your mercy, basically. Yeah, and the GM and the party will help you determine that. And again, playtesting is about figuring this shit out. Basically just like anyone who is at your mercy who cannot defend themselves, either because they don't know you're there or whatever, setting up someone to be at your mercy might require a roll, but then you're just like, cool, I cut his throat. I stick the knife in his back. I shoot him in the chest. I push him off the cliff. He is dead. I like it. Deception. So deception is about being good at lying. Once per session. But we don't want it to be like magical, like you force someone to. That's a good idea. I'm gonna make a note of that. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. Let me make a comment. At your mercy. Comment. Is this something mechanical? It's come up a few times. Okay. So I think this deception is just about like, you know what? Let's treat it like a skill. Let's treat it like a skill in World of Dungeons. So like once per session, you may make a roll whose success is contingent on a lie. May treat a roll whose success is contingent on a lie. One of your rolls whose success is contingent on a lie as a 7 to 9. I don't know. This one is just straight up like lying to somebody and having them believe you. But I don't think it's got to be reasonable, right? Like it can't just be. It can't just be like, I'm a dragon. Well, maybe I'm a dragon in disguise. But you couldn't be like, the sky is red. And they're like, yes, of course it is. Yeah, maybe you just get a +1. Take +1 whenever rolling to avoid being caught in a lie. Or like rolling to convince someone of something that isn't true. Basically just you're a good fucking liar. Okay. So crime, you are trained and practiced in the various arts of making other people's property your own. All of your thief bullshit falls under crime. It's like, do a crime. Burglary? Fine. Pickpocketing? Fucking fine. Con games? Great. Yeah, that's true. No, but it does have to be a lie. It's about being deceptive. Anyway, so crime. I think that's probably enough for crime. Once per session, you can declare, I know someone, and have access to a criminal with the skills and disposition to help you with some illegal endeavor. There you go. So if you need a fence, whatever you need a drug dealer, you need a fence, you need some other criminal with skills and disposition to help you, now you do. Once per session, it's just like a free shot. So the reason it has to be that it isn't true is that the ability is called deception, not convincing, right? It's about lying. And again, all of this stuff, like the idea is that we get to mess with it. All right, so assassins, you are able to safely create, given the ingredients, and handle poisons of all sorts. Create, recognize, and handle poisons of all sorts. Easy. I mean, we could really simplify this because it seems people are stuck on this. Take +1 whenever you lie to someone and they might see through it. Like, it's just straight about like +1 to lie. You're a lying, cheating, murdering bastard. You're awful. You're a bad person. But I want this to be about, like, on a roll to being caught in a lie, or like to pass a lie, right? Convince someone of a lie, convince someone of the truth of a lie, like convince someone that a lie is true. Something like that. Yeah, it's a +1, same as everything else that's given pluses, right? Command gets a +1. Discipline gets a +1. They're just +1s. I mean, +1's pretty big if you already have a +2 or a +3. No, I don't want it to be manipulation. I want it to be deception. I want them to be liars. They're not manipulators. They are liars. I'm making a very firm stance on this. Thieves, assassins, outcasts, and vagabonds are bad people in society's eyes. Okay, stalking. This one is like like tracking and following and staking out. I want this to be about asking the GM, like, where are you vulnerable? Where are you most vulnerable? Something like that, like finding an opportunity to poison or to murder, right? So this is about asking the GM, like, when is this person most vulnerable to my like to me murdering them? Because he's an assassin, right? What would be easiest? What's the easiest way to kill this person? Like, how do we phrase this in a way that tells the assassin where and when to act? What are the optimal circumstances to murder this person? Oh, that's good, Firehawk Zoa. I like this. How can I get this person at my mercy? What's the way to phrase that? How can I put them at my mercy? How can I have them at my mercy? Firehawk Zoa, killing it. A+. It's a condition. It's a thing. You are at his mercy. I am at your mercy, sir. Yeah. And it's like, It's about the like disarming is a thing, forcing a spirit to be at your mercy, right? With conjuring, put them at my mercy. How can I? Yeah. I dig it. And they would say, oh, this person loves their beloved son so very much that if you were to get a hold of them, they would trade their own life for their son. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we'll come back to that. All right. So Outcast, I'm okay with moving Outcast a little bit away from Ranger. So maybe Wild Calling and Woodcraft. Woodcraft is good. I think you have the skills you need to survive outside of outside of civilization. Survive in the wild. I don't care where it is. Like, you're an outcast. You've been outcast. You've learned to take care of your shit. Wild Calling was originally going to be like Animal Companion, right? But this is kind of like humans have abandoned you, so you've turned to the wild. Like humans hate you, because you're an outcast. Or maybe you're an outcast because they hate you, and so you've turned to animals as your only friends. So, I mean, what should we, A, what should we call this, and B, what should it do? Yes, no, the ranger allegory, the outcast is also a deceptive murderer. Yeah. Thieves, assassins, outcasts, and vagabonds are all desperate killers. Oh, that's good, Leafington. Something like, when you interact with animals, you may roll with mind, or like maybe you can like speak to them, or like the idea here is that you can commune with them because they're your replacement for humans. Animals treat you like you're one of their own, right? Like they recognize, they can smell on you, your soul has been darkened, like you're an outcast. So I like the idea of like animals just like they like you. So let's call this something else. Like basically you're an animal. You're not a human anymore. Less than human, right? Beast heart, or like beastly, or beast nature, or yeah, something like that. I want it to be like you're bad. Like if someone called you this would be an offense to you. Like, oh, that cabin is where this feral heart or something. Yeah. I like feral heart. Animals of the wild recognize you as one of their own and treat you accordingly. Like they see you. They're just like, you're one of us now. You've given up on humanity. Dig it. All right, cool. Yeah, feral heart, savage soul, something like that. Yeah, only wild animals. No, domestic animals are better than you. It's like humans, house cat, your outcast ass. Yeah, feral, because these are all one word. Fountaincraft is a bit of a cheat, but yeah, let's maybe call it feral. But feral heart is so much more poetic. Okay, that's fine. We'll just leave it there. Hi, Elf. Okay, vagabonds. You are once per session. This is an Ask the GM one. Once per session, ask the GM, what does the street say about this? And they will answer honestly. Easy, right? So this is a combination of, hobo spy network, right? Hearsay. And then ingenuity is like you can make do with whatever. Vagabond is like a term for Let me see. Is there a define? Vagabond is a person who wanders from place to place without a home or job. You're basically homeless. You're an outcast, but you're an incast. You're allowed to stay in the city, but you're a peddler with crappy wares. You're a beggar. Maybe you're a murder hobo, right? Like vagabonds are also murderers and deceivers. So you get that hobo knife. So yeah, I imagine in the city of Brass there are stories of the vagabond train, right? Like a whole train taken over by the homeless of the city, and that rides the rails. And if you ever see the vagabond train come, like run and hide because it's full of like feral men and women. These are the characters who have access to that kind of like mythology of the urban environment. They're the forgotten. They're like the characters in Neverwhere, right? Okay, so this is an inventory cheat. Yes, I absolutely agree, Magpie. So inventory cheat, you have any one thing without pre-deciding it. Yeah, I love that. So you just are like, oh, you know what? Of course I have this thing. Maybe it's made out of some other crap, but like once we work out the inventory system, we'll pull it in. Yeah, Forgotten Children, Untouchables, the trash of society. Yeah. Oh, I also I didn't note this, but so let's talk about weapons and armor. So I think weapons inflict a number of levels of harm, and maybe they do more or less, and have tags. So Apocalypse World style, right? They give fictional positioning, halberd versus dagger, and do actual damage.
Returns. Welcome home.
Yeah. Okay. Halthane, welcome back. Thank you. Armor has ablative levels of damage reduction. When you take a hit, your armor can take it for you, but then needs to be repaired. So it should be simple, right? Heavy, medium, light armor. And the idea is that... I think I have American autocorrector on. No, I don't. I'm just so used to getting yelled at for putting U's in armor. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's armore. So, yeah, armor is ablative. You wear it, and it gets broken as you fight. Weapons have, 1, 2, or 3 levels of harm they deal, and then they have tags. Armor piercing might be a thing, etc., etc. Okay, so harm, wounds, whatever we want to call it. And this will all be math stuff, right? How many hit points does a character have? Can you get more? How does this stuff go? So the idea is this is all going to be some interconnected economic structure that I am not that excited about figuring out. But I'll do it eventually. So we need magic system, right? I need, what do we call it? We called them, cast spells, channel, miracles, and conjure. Spells, channeling, miracles, and conjuring. Spells, miracles, channeling, and conjuring. 4 aspects of the same system. I need like monsters. And I'm thinking with monsters, we'll call these adversaries. Because adversaries are built up of how much damage can they do? How much armor do they have? How much health do they have? And what do they want? So the idea here is a bit like Dungeon World, where like that's the stuff that really matters. I guess what makes them special, like tags. So I'm envisioning a monster might look like this. Mogwai Warrior. It's got a Rusty Dagger. Rusty Dagger plus 1 harm, 1 wound. I'm gonna call them wounds. No armor. They have one health box that's like, I'm dead. And then wants riches and power to be best in caves. And then special. There's so damn many of them. Right? Like that's pretty much what I'm about in terms of like that's a monster in this game. And like I don't know, we could go like more, obviously more like broad than that. We can add more tags. I'm coming at this from a fairly like dungeon world like perspective, but also there's some room, right? Yeah. Okay. So we need also GM stuff. So like general how to run this, moves list, something like that. Or protocols, structure of play, like phases, etc. Maybe that's not GM stuff, but this is just like we'll make a list of more shit that we need. Advancement. So like, what do you use XP for exactly? We want to understand fronts, right? Fronts, countdown clocks, etc. What's all this for or about? How do we do that? What else are we missing? Like, is there anything jumping out to you that you're like, this, oh, yeah, no, totally. So, sorry to interrupt, to answer a question about the Mogwai here. This is a Mogwai warrior, but this, a Mogwai war swarm, many rusty daggers, 2 wounds, ablative bodies, 1 armor, right? They have health levels that are like, there's still so many of them. And I think they're thinning. That's about half, right? Only a few left. That's the last of them. No more Mogwai. Right? So that's an easy thing to like. The war swarm is one thing. Yeah, gear and items, right, are a thing that we need to figure out. Right? That this is a monster adversary type of a thing. Guidance for creating adversaries as a thing. Okay. Yeah, the ablative bodies thing is there's just so many like arms and legs to wound that they just reduce damage by 1. And I guess the difference here would be like, does the armor for monsters go down? Is it just it takes hits for you, or do they stick around? Right. Anyway, we'll work all that out. It's all part of the thing. So we need a magic system. Definitely needs to be a thing. So inventories, so like warriors, magicians, and rogues. So if we're doing this in the style of blades, we need to think of how many slots and what fill those slots, right? So like weapon, armor, hardy bullshit. Maybe each, let's see, let's do this. So based on class, but with additional item for each subclass ability. So like this way, if you are a warrior who takes poisons and crime, you'll get a crime item and a poison item that go onto your list. And then also, yeah, I like the idea of like general inventory. So like everybody is an adventurer. And then like some other bullshit.
Welcome to the Math Squad.
Hello, Sir Slaughter. Welcome. Yeah, okay, I kind of like that. Okay, cool. And then maybe some kind of like kin, culture, and craft item? Like something you add yourself? Okay, and then magicians have a tarot deck, right? Because they all get Oracle. So tarot deck. What else would every magician probably have? Like an outfit, vestments. And then, like, yeah, arcane implements. This is the hardy bullshit of the magician. Nerd stuff. All right, so murder tool. Extra cash, maybe? Or, like, secret cash. Right? Like, you always have a little extra money. And then something illicit. Like a trophy or blood, drugs, or like something they shouldn't have. And we can work those out. Yeah. Tough boy, nerd boy, rich boy, and murder boy. I mean, we just have 3: tough boy, magic boy, and murder boy. So murder tool, secret cash. But this is stuff you carry around with you. Okay. And then each subclass theoretically has like an item that goes for their particular thing. Okay. All right. And then maybe kin culture. I mean, I'm not super like, yeah, like I don't know about, I mean, I don't really care about equipment that much. Like I just want you to have the things that would make sense for your character to have. I'm not going to like dick around. Like only the, listen, what equipment in Court of Swords matters? Right? Apology of Emperor Faye. That matters. Like Berg's armor matters, but like most of this mundane gear, just like, yeah, magic shit. I don't give a fuck about all that other stuff. Chuckles. Yeah. Things that let you do the job that you're trying to do. Yeah. So these are different. I think general inventory for adventure types pretty much just covers all that. Yeah. Okay. We'll get all that shit detailed out later. So I don't know if I want to dig, like we've only got like another 20 minutes or so. I don't think I want to dig hard into any more other stuff. But like, look at how much more of a game this is. Look at all this stuff. We can make a character now. Isn't that cool? It's not just like 4 pages of horse shit. It's like real proto game. This is like an alpha right here. It's like a semi-playable textured alpha. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, let's call it there for today. Obviously I want to keep working on this. But it seems like we're going to need to dig. I figure we get like two more sessions of this before we can really like call it a playtest. So the two things I think we're going to need to do is we could spend an entire session doing the magic system, like a 2 or 3 hours.
Return.
And then we could do, thanks K Smith. And then we could do probably 3 or 4 hours to like crack away at the GM side. Though I think the GM stuff will emerge from me GMing playtests, right? Like when I playtest this and
Gesture.
thanks Miyabi. I'm just making note of that. It's my first pre-order. Miyabi. 1 copy. Thank you, Miyabi. So yeah, I think what I'd want to do is make up all the stuff that I needed for the players, all the mechanical shit, and then GM it a bunch of times and codify the things that I'm doing already. That's how I'm going to start on the GM stuff. Internal playtesting, which is to say I'm GMing, I'm the designer, I'm playing for people that I'm playing with. And God, now I want to do a playtest. I wonder if next week, I bet you I do have time. I bet you Friday I could do this. I do have time. Yeah. Should we do it again next week? Do you want to do some more design next Friday? Okay. Next Friday I'll do another 2 or 3 hours of design stuff and we'll just keep hacking away at it, okay? All right, cool. Well, thank you for coming to Court of Swords MicroRPG, whatever the fuck this was. This was super cool, and I'm glad that you were here to do this with me. I will see all of you next time for more designing a role-playing game.